What is up, YouTube? Ncaa31 here. I've been a real slacker on these. I gotta get back into it. I'm getting back into Ncaa 12 again. I've done my morning over the patch. The patch kind of sucked some life out of it for me for a little while, but starting to get back into it. And adjusting my game, accordingly. But where did I left off with the 335 Oki was the last one of these I did. So I have split here. 335 split in my 335 breakdown series. 335 split is probably one of my favorite, most often used 335 stack playbook sets. Basically what it is, it's a 4-2-5 look. If you look at the linebackers, the defensive line, you have your 3 down linemen as usual. But now one of your defensive ends is 3 technique here, and you have your outside linebacker here as a stand-up defensive end. And again, this is where the versatility of this playbook and the versatility of your players comes in handy. If you have a good pass rushing outside linebacker, you want him in this spot. If it's this guy here, then you're good to go. You don't got to do anything. If it's the other outside linebacker, all you need to do is just flip the formation, or formation sub him, or use the linebacker swap package on the formation screen. If both of them are good pass rushers, then it doesn't really matter, you're good to go. But ideally you want your best pass rushing outside linebacker here. If you have a defensive end, a backup defensive end who's athletic, you can formation sub him here as well, since he's going to be blitzing the majority of the time. So this is probably the best set out of the 3-3-5 playbook to get a good base 4-man pass rush outside of the Oki. It's not really a great set for real exotic blitzing. It's more of a base 4-man pass rush set, and you have your two linebackers here, and your 2 strong safeties as usual, your corners, and your deep safety. So nothing else changes there. As far as some plays, cover 3 is my base look out of here. It's just a simple 3 deep coverage. It's solid against the run, decent against the pass in certain situations. The danger part is the seams there. You see a lot of space there in the seams. So if you're using your safety here, you want to be on the lookout for any trips, any quads formations, anyone in the slots here. You want to cheat over to the side of strength. If it's a balanced formation, you'll want to cheat over to the field side, or the wide side. Let me call a pass play here. Actually, there's a pass play going on right here. As I have random play going on. But let's take a look at that on replay. Four-man pass rush. You have underneath hook zone coverage out of your linebackers. And of course, the better they are at zone coverage, the more aware they'll be as far as passing people on. Curl flats out of your safeties here underneath. And your typical deep third out of your corners. And if you're using this player, you just want to be on the lookout for seams. It's a pretty basic play. I like to slant my lineman toward the side of strength. And right there's a perfect example of vulnerability there. You really want to be on the lookout for those deep posts and deep seams. You don't want to cheat, or because you're the only guy back there. Cover 2. If you call this play on a long field, you better be dang sure he's throwing to the flats, or really disciplined if you're using the underneath defenders. Again, just a simple 4-man pass rush here. You have your linebackers dropping back underneath. If you're using the free safety on a long field, you cannot bail out of here under any circumstances. If you're not using this player, what I would do, if you're not using an underneath zone defender or the free safety on a long field, I would audible one of these 3 guys, either one of the linebackers or the safety, into a deep zone, just to be on the safe side if you call this play on a long field. I like this play in the red zone because, it's a lot more compressed and not as much field to cover. You have your linebackers underneath. Corners jamming and releasing. And your safeties flying out deep half. So it's fairly safe if you use your safety and you're disciplined, or your linebacker and you're disciplined. If you take gambles, you better be right, because there's going to be an awful lot of space in the deep middle of the field. Thunder Green is my between the tackles run stopper. Monster Green is when I'm, not sure. They might run in between. They might run outside. It adds a safety blitzing. Let's go Thunder Green. And we'll go up against an inside handoff, random play. You have your linebackers shooting in there. Like to slant the line to any strength, any motion. If you have good man coverage, corners, and safeties, it's a good A-gap heat bringer, thing similar to Overstorm Brave out of the base nickel sets. Let's run it against the pass. Random play. And it brings a fair amount of heat there in the A-gap. What I like to do, I like to spread the line and pinch the backers. And if everyone releases or it's an empty backfield, someone's going to come free. See Matt Hateo come in there and smack the quarterback. I audibled by accident there. That time my back came in to block. But you see my pass rushing linebacker here? This is your DeMarcus Ware type linebacker. Good pass rusher, sheds the block, and he still causes some heat. Monster Green is a little bit more balanced. You have a safety out there who's blitzing, so if you guess right as far as what direction they're running in, that'll happen. If they bounce it outside. Let's call that play against a pitch play or a counter.
Let's go. Wide 80.
Oh, that time he got walled off. And that'll happen sometimes. I mean, you got a safety out there, so you know, against a good power running team, you're going to have a problem. You'll make sure you're slanting your lines with as high of strength to give yourself the best opportunity to stop that. Like, I'm going to slant toward the motion there, and that time we were able to contain that. And against the pass, again, just make sure if you call this play against the pass, you can match up. Create space for the linebackers. Ncaa comes in free and puts some heat on the quarterback, and that might be enough to get a guy to flush out of the pocket or make an immature throw or a premature throw. Boom! Empty backfield, comes crashing in. Three deep switch is basically an inverted cover two. Basically, it's virtually identical to the cover two play, except the deep safety is dropping all the way back into a deep third. It's basically a Tampa two. There's not much difference there between the two plays. Monster 3 is a decent, you know, A-gap zone blitz pressure. Okay, gets an inside run because you have the linebacker shooting through, as you can see there. And against the pass, you have your linebacker and defensive end dropping back into the hooks.
Let's go.
See the blitzers coming through. Hook zone is covered there. Hook zone is covered here. I jump this. He's in here. Good coverage there. Pretty solid coverage all the way around. It brings decent heat, but provides some pretty good coverage. And the only throw he has is the you know, shallow drag, which is fine. So those are some plays out of the 3-3-5 split package. Storm Red we've seen before, and Crash 3 we've seen before as well. Nothing new there. So try it out. Hope you guys like it. Take care. Peace.